Alright, so we got some very big news and very big images today I'm gonna go over. But before we do that, I'm gonna set the picture of why this means a lot to me. So the year is 2003, I'm 7 years old. I remember seeing X-Men 2 in the movies, and you know, the movie was awesome. This is also off the heels of seeing the Raimi Spiderman movie that wasn't that long before this. And around the time, I remember loving two shows, animated shows that were out during the time called X-Men Evolution and Justice League. It wasn't Unlimited yet, it was before Unlimited when it was just the main 7. Banger shows. To me at the time, you know, my favorite 4 comic book characters, and those are Mount Rushmore, it would look something like this. You know, Martian, Manhunter, Spiderman, Wolverine, and Batman. Those were everything. Those are the 4 characters that were the coolest to exist for me. Fast forward 20 years, 2023, I'm still in comics and other stuff. Comic movies are still in their prime, if you ask me. They're still in their peak era of entertainment. There's like 4 or 5 releases every year now. Comic movies have seen peak success since the dawn of the MCU and all the other comic movies that come with it. You know, like anyone, I have my favorite comic movies, and I have my favorite actors. We had Spider-Man fill in with the MCU, with Tom Holland's version. You know, those 2 properties have always been big in the Marvel Universe and me in the comics. And if you know me personally, you know my favorite comic book is the X-Men by bound and lengths and miles. X-Men's my favorite Marvel comic book by a long shot. Their stories always felt like more realistic and more what I could see in a real world, which was always interesting to me, and I feel like you can see that in my top favorite comic movies. There's always like this plot of what if these people existed in the real world, how would people around them take it, and how would the media and stuff react. And if you know me personally, you know some of my favorite castings have been some of the most disliked ones in my opinion. It wasn't until recently we got a lot of fan service and unique projects for my favorite versions of the characters. You know, my live action Mount Rushmore would look something like this, but all these people have either moved on or recently have come back to the roles. Ben Affleck's Batman, he was in the recent Flash movie, and it's still unknown what his future holds, you know, with James Gunn's reboot and the way the studio treated him and the cast and Zach and stuff. You know, I can't blame him if he didn't want to come back after the way that Warner Brothers and the media and social media have treated him and the other cast of the movies that he was part of. And probably destroyed his interest as Batman, to be honest. And him being constantly frowned upon because of the story they went with, which I really love the story in BVS. And I love the story in DSJL. You know, I like those. I think those are very unique, very good. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Ben's Batman because he is my favorite casting, and he will be the face of the Mount Rushmore for me. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because this is a Wolverine video. Another one, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, who also had mega backlash upon his version by being different from the previous version that was very beloved. And it was just a very different take, but I really enjoyed his version. You know, there is pacing and stuff issues with the movie and stuff, but they both had the unfortunate cause of trying something new and coming between 2 versions that are very well liked by everyone else. No Way Home came out. Now everybody's a big Andrew Garfield fan, which is insane to me. He's like, for years they've ragged this man and his movies, but now that he's been part of the MCU, he's been loved, which is great. And also, if you haven't seen it already, watch Spider-Verse. It's pretty good. And another person on this list who shouldn't, a lot of people don't like or don't even care, wouldn't even think twice about is Courtneys' Captain Boomerang. He probably doesn't deserve to be on here. He's only in like one and a tenth of a movie before James Gunn did him absolutely filthy with the second Suicide Squad. And my 4th is not the Martian Manhunter, due to the character being very limited in live action with the Smallville and Supergirl shows. And then he's amazing in Zack Snyder's Justice League, even though I do have problems with the plot with him. And if you're an exec watching this, give John a shot in a movie. You could do so much with the character. You could throw him in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s due to his shapeshifting ability. He would be a great detective story and all that stuff. And if you haven't guessed it by the thumbnail and what the video is actually about, is the fourth person on that thing who is second on the list, you know, has been, and then this person. But none of them could hold a candle to the impact that this character had on me through my entire life. I had an email with the same name when I was younger. My original gamer tag was going to be his character, but obviously it was taken. He has a new game coming out. He's one of my mains in MVC3, and it's the legend Hugh Jackman. For obvious reasons, he wasn't done dirty by critic feedback, panic, or studio interference like some other of my favorites. Hugh sat asses in seats like no other when he was Wolverine, and Fox struck gold with his casting, and they couldn't ask more from him. You know, he played the character 9 times in over 20 years before he put it to rest, or so he thought.
Hey Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
About half a year ago, the Canadian who plays the iconic Merkava Mouse somehow used his power to make this happen for Deadpool 3. And yesterday, an image released of Hugh donning the iconic yellow suit from the comics, and it is glorious. I'm super interested in this movie, as they said it doesn't affect Logan at all and how Logan ended. But we do know it is a multiverse movie. In my theory, it will be the introduction of mutants to the MCU officially. I'm still interested in how Disney will allow Deadpool 3 to be. We did get our first S-bomb in the MCU recently, and this has been a topic of discussion for a while, as we have wanted answers. With that said, Hugh is officially back, and I cannot be more excited about them going all in on it. What do you think about the classic yellow suit? Do you think Deadpool 3 will deliver? Let me know down in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It tremendously helps the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.